Hey everybody, and welcome to Pals Chat. I am your host, Gina Parker. I am here with my co-host, Sadie Teal.
What's up?
This week we're gonna do a special episode, which is Love in the Afternoon. I've done a few of these with Ashley Jones. Sadie, it's your turn for Love in the Afternoon, where we discuss one couple from All My Children,
Okay, let's do it.
one of the super couples. So this is Ryan Lavery and Gillian Andrassi.
Shh, please don't speak. Don't make a sound. My life is on the line here.
And you're so good at predicting. Do you want to throw out something about where you think this is going with no information?
Okay, so this is we're f following the entire trajectory of a soap opera relationship here. Is that
Yeah,
right?
one of
Okay,
All My
so
Children's super couples.
super couple. So I think initially I'm gonna say these are childhood sweethearts, and for some reason or another, in a circumstance beyond their control, they were separated at a young age. And they went off and married different people, but eventually they end up back together again. That's the initial guess.
No, but that's beautiful, and
Thank
I
you.
I want to see that story now.
Yeah,
We make our own soap. We'll do that.
exactly. So what's going on with them?
There's Ryan. He's a con man,
Oh
and,
God.
and so like he comes to town pretending to be hurt from a car accident, pretending to have whiplash so that he can cash in the insurance payment. He walks into the hospital shirtless because, of course, it's a soap opera, the soap opera eye candy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta have something for mom.
And so what happens is he's just like a local con artist, but not everyone knows that. He works at WRCW. For people who have been listening to our podcast. It's the local access kind of news station that Brooke's working at now with her little local show. And it's the local news station of Pennsylvania within the world of All My Children.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's gotten busted by Liza Colby for taking kickbacks.
Uh-oh.
And we'll pause right there with describing Ryan. So then we have Gillian Indrassi, who's a member of Hungarian royalty. Yeah, that's right.
That's quite the twist. Do we know
And
this? Is that just like part of her backstory?
that's just part of the backstory.
Uh-huh.
So basically, she was partying nonstop and having sex with some dudes and, got in trouble. And so she was cut off from the Hungarian royalty money.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets sent to Pine Valley and to stay with her cousin, and she's broke as a joke. And so she's like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to marry a trust fund kid here in town.
Easier said than done.
Well, I'll show you. This trust fund kid in question is Scott Chandler. That's him.
Uh-huh.
And so she's like, I'm gonna hook up with him. Don't love him, doesn't matter. I'm gonna get his money and then spend it up to get back to my old life.
Mm-hmm.
So Liza Colby, who's the one who busted Ryan for, taking kickbacks, Scott is her nephew. And so she's like, I don't trust this chick. This chick is out for my nephew's money. So I'm in exchange for not turning you into the police, Ryan, I'm going to have you hook up with Jillian and you're gonna marry her.
Oh.
And it's that or prison. So he goes out to seduce her, and Liza lies to Jillian that he's actually super rich and is faking being poor so someone will love him for him. One of those.
Oh yeah.
And Jillian falls for it. Jillian and Ryan get married, after they're married, they each realize the other is broke. And
Oops.
so
Oops.
it's a bummer for both
Classic.
of them. Yeah. So they're both pretty disappointed about that. They both thought they were going to be living it rich. They were both wrong.
Ooh, but I sense that the tides will turn, and
Mhm.
now we're talking true romance, aren't we?
We are. So
Yeah.
they decide to stay married and live with Jillian's cousin because Jillian's worried about being deported too. It's a green card marriage. But then they end up falling in love for real. But then
Oh, yay.
they start to fall in love, but neither of them can admit it because Ryan's a former con man, Jillian's like a royal girl. They take a while to admit their feelings for each other. Jillian starts to lose hope of getting with Ryan. She sleeps with this other guy, David, right when Ryan is about to confess his feelings for her. And so, he's devastated. He takes off. He gets drunk at a bar and on Halloween and hits on this girl named Kit Fisher. And so he gets like super blackout drunk, but then he's like, you know what? I love Jillian. I'm not gonna let her sleeping with David ruin it. I'm going for it. So they get back together. They're madly in love. Everything's great. And then Ryan is arrested for raping Kit Fisher.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bump in the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so they say his DNA isn't a 100% match, but it's like an 80% match. And so it's like it splits the town in half. Half the people think he did it, half don't. She believes that he's innocent. But they get kicked out of their housing because her cousins are like, we don't want a rapist here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fair
so
enough.
they're homeless. He gets very sick. He yeah, he needs medicine and stuff. They don't have any money because they're both broke. And so Jillian goes to the guy she slept with before and asks him for money. And he says, I'll give you the money for Ryan if you sleep with me. And she does it to save Ryan. And then the guy calls the police and has Ryan arrested anyway. So, and he tells Ryan,
Scoundrel.
that's David Hayward.
David
And
Hayward, we hate him.
yeah, so he did do an intro for our podcast. So we love you,
Oh,
Vincent.
nice.
We're sorry.
I mean, I do love the heel of the show. That's always the most interesting character for sure.
Mhm. But so Ryan's arrested. He finds out like Jillian cheated on him with this guy who then had him arrested. And so their like relationship fractures, they kind of split up. Ryan realizes it's his brother who raped Kit,
Oof.
which is why it was a partial match, not a 100% match. And
Don't tell me, does he like agonize, like, oh, but my brother, do I, does he agonize at all about the decision of coming out with that info?
he does because he and his brother were both abused kids who got beaten on the
Ah,
regular, and his brother took some beatings for him.
okay.
And
Well,
so
then
he's
now
like,
I feel bad.
well, no, I think it's
Yeah.
still maybe wrong, but you can kind of
Yes.
see where he's coming from. Like, oh, I owe him one. Maybe I'll just go
Hmm.
to prison. So,
Yeah.
but then he realizes, like, oh no, my brother's dangerous.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. Yeah.
So he takes a while to think about it, weigh all the things, and then he's like, you know what, my brother's dangerous. I'm gonna help bring him to justice. And he's like, I'm going to help bring him to justice because also I don't want him to be like killed or anything.
Yeah.
He can go to prison. So he helps bring his brother to justice, but Ryan and Jillian's relationship is fractured after she cheated on him to save him, this
Hmm.
kind of stuff.
He finds out, and then it's like, I did it for you. But he's like, but I wouldn't have had you do that. Is anything like that?
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And so they're like on a break. Jillian gets into a car accident and she's left unable to talk for a while. She gets close to this doctor named Jake. They fall in
Oh
love,
no.
and so they get married. And I should say, in the lead up to it, this girl named Greenlee Smythe keeps trying to get with Ryan, and he's like, "But I love Jillian." And Greenlee convinces Jillian, two G names. It's a little confusing. But Greenlee convinces Jillian, like, "Oh, Ryan's been sleeping with me this whole time. He's been proclaiming his love for you, blah, blah, blah. He's a
Ah.
scumbag." And so Jillian believes her, and that's part of the reason why she marries
That she
Jake.
is like, okay, fine. If he's done
Yeah.
with me, I'm done with him. Yes.
Yep, that's it.
I love that. I love
So,
that as a trope. You know what I mean? Like, I don't love that for her because it sounds awful.
mhm. Schemers. You gotta love the schemers on a
Yes.
soap. So then Jake and Jillian are married. It's going fine. But Jillian, through events, we won't get into them, but Jillian, through events, learns that Jake is not the biological father of his daughter, and Jake is suing for sole custody of his daughter.
Oh.
And when the truth comes out and Jake realizes Jillian knew the whole time, he decides to leave the country. And yeah.
No marriage counselors in this town, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go to counseling though, right?
Yeah,
Like, you
true.
can't just like one of you leaves. So he went to Doctors Without Borders in a war-torn country. And so Jillian's waiting for him to get back. She and Ryan start to get close again, and they start to fall in love. Ryan and Jillian, I think, go to Chechnya to get Jake back. But while they're getting Jake back, he gets shot, saving some children.
Oh no.
What a guy.
What a guy, a hero. Oh,
Hmm.
and so now is she gonna feel like guilted into it, like staying with him? Like he got shot doing something so noble. I can't leave him.
Yeah, so they bring him back to Pine Valley and they do surgeries on him, and he's gonna live, but he's impotent. And Jillian's like, "Well, I can't dump him while he's impotent. That seems
Yeah, because
mean."
that seems like then that seems almost like a Larry David situation. It's not because of the impotence, I swear. Oh, you just learn about my impotence and suddenly it's goodbye. No, no, I don't. Yeah, I could see the frustration there.
Yeah, so Jillian goes to Ryan and is like, "I can't leave Jake while he's impotent. I gotta hang in there with him." And Ryan's like, "Well, how long are you gonna hang in there with him? Because it's like, like,
Yeah.
like six
Just the
months."
rest of your life in marriage?
Yeah. And so eventually he gives up on her. He's like, "You're just gonna stay with this guy." And so then, due to a miracle drug by David Hayward, who, coerced Jillian into sex with money earlier in our
Hmm.
storyline here, he is able to cure Jake's impotence. And Jake and Jillian hook up and they have sex, and Jillian's like, "Great, now that you can do that again, I'm leaving you." So,
Uh-oh, but is she pregnant?
great question. Your head's in the right place.
Okay, I knew
Uh,
it.
so she leaves him. She goes back to Ryan. She's like, "Hey, great news. I choose you." And he's like, "Okay, I guess. I don't like that you banged a guy before coming back to me, but okay."
Yeah, like, hey, just one more real quick. That's funny.
And so they get back together, and then she learns she's pregnant. But is it Ryan's or is it Jake's? Sadie Teal knew.
No way to know.
Hmm. And so Jillian ends up losing the baby. So sad. But then Jake's finally like, "Okay, I guess I'll divorce you," because he was giving her a hard time about it before.
Hmm.
So then Ryan and Jillian get together permanently, happily ever after.
Princess, this is the anniversary of our first marriage, the one that didn't take. We stood right here and we pledged our love, not knowing what love was. Today I know. You opened my eyes, and I am a better man today because of you. On this day, that lifetime ago, my world changed forever. If life is about learning, then love is about second chances, and I am going to take this one as far as I can, and I am not going to look back. We're going to face the future together, and it is going to be one incredible ride.
Ryan, you've seen me through the worst times in my life. When the world seemed like such a dark and scary place. And you showed me the way. And when I couldn't find the words, when I couldn't speak, I found the word for heart in your eyes. And that's what you are. And always will be. My heart.
Things are going great. They're building a business together. But wait, so an assassin is coming to kill
What the?
Jillian's aunt, who's a former spy.
Ah, this is great. You know, that's when things go wrong when everything is so perfect.
Hmm.
You know, they finally get together. You know, this is like the Luis and is was it Sheridan from
Yeah.
Passions? The moment they would get together, that's when some otherworldly fate scenario would intervene.
Oh, and do you remember there was Ethan and Teresa?
Yes, yes.
Teresa comes on All My Children eventually as a love interest for Tad.
Oh, nice. Oh, for Tad?
Yeah, he's much
Yuck. How
older.
much older is he? Yeah. There's no
It's
way
a,
that's age appropriate.
it's May, December for sure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I actually did like them together. They're both such good leading, like he's a good leading man and she's such a good leading woman that
Yeah, she's a fantastic actress. I could see that.
but back to Ryan and
Oh,
Jillian.
yeah, this is the one.
Anyway, so an assassin comes to kill Jillian's family member, Anna Devane. And because Anna Devane is a former spy with the WSB, the World Security Bureau, a fake fictional soap opera secret
Yeah,
agency.
yeah, like an Archer type organization, probably.
And Jillian keeps hanging around her family property, being like, hey, what's going on, you guys? And everyone's like, we can't tell Jillian what's going on. It's not safe. And then they don't tell her. And so she's hanging around the property. She gets mistaken for Anna, shot in the head, and
Yeah,
killed.
yeah.
Um,
Oh no.
mhm. So that's how their beautiful love story ends.
So how
And
long did they get before that she was taken out? Was it like Downton Abbey where it's like immediate like happiness and then taking them out?
no, they got some good times in there, and their
Okay.
characters were paired together for like 3 years. So, I mean,
Okay.
off and on throughout all these breakups and getting back togethers. But,
That was quite the ride. What a beautiful love story.
and then her ghost hangs around Pine Valley, but I'm not sure it's canon anymore because some of the other ghosts she was hanging out with were revealed to still be alive. So I don't know if it's canon anymore.
That's
Uh,
hilarious. Or
and
maybe she's secretly alive, like she just did a little sneak away thing.
so her ghost hangs around town for a long time, communicating with Ryan through Tad's mother, of all things. and, because she can't let go of him when they were finally going to be happy. And eventually she leads him to a man he thinks is his father at the time of this point in the show, Chris Stamp, which gave him liberation from the fact that he was a abused child. Like, oh, it wasn't my real dad beating me. Um,
Hmm.
but then a few years later, it's retconned, and it was in fact his biological dad who
What
was
the
beating him.
heck?
So anyway, that's how things end for them. That's Ryan and Jillian, one of the greats of all my children.
I love it. I love a couple of con artists finding each other and finding true love together.
All right. That's it. Please like, subscribe, comment, and thank you to E. Pearson and C. Rourke for subscribing to us.
Woo!
You
Thank
guys seem great.
you.
All
We
right.
love you. Well, bye.
Well, bye.
Done.
That was our best one.
Cool.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.